Liverpool went to Stamford Bridge to face Chelsea for the second time within a week. In their previous meeting, both teams lined up with this match in mind. So in this game, both Klopp and Sarri were able to start with their strongest 11. Judging by the playstyle of these two managers, it's not surprising that the game was being played at a very high tempo right from the start. Sarri wanted Liverpool to be as ineffective as possible when they were on the ball. To do that, he tasked the wingers to stay wide to take care of Liverpool's fullbacks, who play a huge part in Klopp's tactics. While a midfielder on either side stepped up to press a nearby Liverpool player, with Jorginho moving with the ball, taking care of the space in the middle. This allowed Chelsea to keep the pressure on Liverpool, forcing them to move the ball around with not many options to choose from. Chelsea did not mind when a Liverpool midfielder dropped deep to assist in the build-up. That's because they took positions that would allow them to press the Liverpool fullback from many different angles, which would eventually force him to give the ball away. That's why Chelsea weren't bothered when Liverpool tried to play from the back by involving their goalkeeper. When building up, Liverpool were having to go along quite a lot. To make that easier, Milner stayed wide on the left wing, dragging Chelsea's defense towards him a bit, while Mane and Firmino stayed in the middle, creating space for Salah by the sideline. When Liverpool did get upfield, Sarri wanted to compress the field to make it difficult for Liverpool to be able to play in Chelsea's half. Notice Hazard's position. He was able to do that by tasking the far winger to track back just enough to be able to eliminate the threat of a ground pass towards the opposite wing, allowing the other players to go towards the ball. This was important as Liverpool themselves kept trying to drag Chelsea's defense towards the ball when in the final third. They were doing it to create space out wide. Notice how it's not Robertson who stays back because of Willian's threat on counterattacks. When a winger wasn't able to track back, Giroud was more than happy to take care of the widest player. This allowed Chelsea enough time to get into good positions whenever Liverpool switched the play towards the opposite wing. For instance, it took Liverpool 40 minutes to be able to switch the play towards the opposite wing. Sarri did not want Liverpool to use the middle when near Chelsea's box, so he tasked Giroud to track back and take care of Henderson whenever he was in the middle. Since Chelsea had their forwards track back quite a lot, Liverpool's gegenpressing was making it difficult for Sarri's men to play out after winning the ball. I'll get back to how Liverpool dealt with Chelsea's tactics later on, because we first need to fully understand what Sarri's game plan was. When Chelsea had the ball, Sarri wanted to exploit Liverpool's high pressure, so they tried to play from the back every time they had the opportunity. The goal was to drag the opponents out of their position and then exploit the space to get into the final third. To do that, Jorginho dropped in the middle while the two center backs went on either side. This kept Liverpool's front three near the box. The fullbacks then went slightly upfield but stayed by the sideline while the midfielders held their positions in half spaces. This gave Liverpool's midfielders the responsibility to take care of the fullbacks and the midfielders. So passing to the fullbacks forced the Liverpool midfielders to step up, leaving the nearby Chelsea midfielder in the half space open. Klopp, on the other hand, did not want Chelsea to play from the back at all. So even when Chelsea were able to make their first pass uncontested, Liverpool continued with their high pressure to make it difficult for Chelsea to string more than a few passes together. That was a risky but necessary move on his part, because if Chelsea were allowed to play through Liverpool's pressure when playing from the back, they had an easy time getting into the final third. I've explained in Liverpool's tactical profile how Klopp relies on counterattacks for the most part to get near the opposition box. And since Chelsea were able to nullify Liverpool's threat when building up, Liverpool looked to attack as soon as they won the ball back from Chelsea. Their high pressure was also impacting Chelsea's ability to play from the back quite a lot, allowing them to attack right after winning the ball. Chelsea had to rely on counterattacks early on to get them near Liverpool's goal. Hazard was pretty much allowed to roam freely when Chelsea had the ball. Hazard drops in the middle while Kante is in half space, leaving Milner to mark 2 players on his own. He was also not able to stay too tight with Alexander-Arnold that much because Klopp likes to have the right back as the widest player on the right wing. And since Hazard couldn't take care of Alexander-Arnold all the time, either Jorginho or Kovacic had to take care of Alexander-Arnold while Alonso stayed with Salah. This meant that Hazard could stay upfield, prepared to take advantage of the space left by the advanced fullback. That's why a midfielder, usually Wijnaldum, had to provide cover for Alexander-Arnold. But even then, Hazard was able to find spaces by staying wide on the left wing, while Alexander-Arnold made his way back. Alonso had a difficult job of taking care of Salah. The reason why I say that is because Salah usually holds the ball after dropping deep and then sets off the advancing teammate to get Liverpool upfield. So Alonso had to stay in front of Salah whenever this was attempted, but that allowed Salah to exploit the space in behind the defense. As the game went on, Chelsea were finding it relatively easy to play from the back. While Liverpool kept using counterattacks to get them closer to Chelsea's box and create chances. When Chelsea got in Liverpool's half, Alonso and Azpilicueta went wide while the midfielders stayed strictly in the middle. This focused Liverpool's press towards the center, leaving the fullbacks open. The far midfielder staying in half space while Willian staying high upfield was able to create enough space for Azpilicueta to get involved when switching the play. Chelsea's forwards kept trying to exploit the gaps behind Liverpool's midfielders who were occupied with other Chelsea midfielders. When on the wings, the fullbacks went up to overload that side with Hazard coming nearby. In the 25th minute, after Alexander-Arnold gets dragged deep by Hazard with no cover in behind, this happens. I feel like Liverpool cannot be blamed too much for that goal because the pass was great and the finish was even better. Not much they could have done. Now that Liverpool were a goal down, they started being more conservative with their possession, not wanting to give the ball away. They were targeting the space left by Chelsea's midfielders when he stepped up to press. Salah was now able to get Liverpool upfield by setting off the onrushing teammate. Liverpool kept trying but were unable to get a goal back before the half ended. The tactics for both teams were pretty much identical to what they used in the first half, except for the fact that Liverpool were now having 4 players right by Chelsea's defensive line, with 1 player always staying by the sideline to stretch out Chelsea's defense. Liverpool were now targeting the space left by the Chelsea midfielder when he pressed a lot more than before. While Chelsea were now relying on counterattacks to get them close to Liverpool's box. And could have taken the lead many times due to the space Liverpool were leaving behind. Liverpool brought on Shaqiri for Salah in the 66th minute to try and get back into the game. And were now attacking a lot more than before as Shaqiri was given a free role. Shaqiri did allow Liverpool to attack a lot more as he was targeting the half spaces while his teammates were staying wide. While Chelsea continued to be a huge threat on counterattacks. In the 86th minute, Liverpool brought on Sturridge for Milner, and just a couple minutes after that, he goes on to do this. Chelsea kept trying to get the winning goal after Liverpool equalized, but were unsuccessful. The game ended with both sides level. It was a great tactical battle between the two managers, no doubt. But Liverpool must be feeling lucky to get a point out of this game. What do you think? Let me know down in the comments below. Thank you to Gary Bartlett, Alberto, Anthony, Tej Mullen, Hamilton Howard Nudin, Lucky Sengoku-san, Yitzhar Goretsky, and more for supporting this channel on Patreon. If you like what I do and would like to support the channel, check out my Patreon page or card on top right. I really appreciate the support. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All links can be found in the description.